Hey everyone, welcome to a new show. I haven't really gotten a name for it, but it's basically a what I have been playing show along with what some other things I've been experiencing on the side in life, entertainment wise, mostly. This will be kind of a Patreon show, once a month, maybe bi weekly, but we'll see. But the first one's going to be free. Just give me a bit what you think of it. Anyway, speaking of a Patreon, yes, I have a Patreon right now. We have a $5 thank you tier, uh, and that's really it. You just get this side show for free, as well as your name shouted out in the episode credits. That's all what I can really do right now. There isn't a whole lot I'm really kind of building up for, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, moving on. So what have I been playing recently? Well, I have to kind of give credit to Kevin for starting the PlayStation Plus game club. It kind of helps me dig into the actual guts and hidden gems that you just really wouldn't find. It gave me the excuse to look for these things, and I was just kind of bored about a couple weeks ago. Going, I don't know what I really want to play because everything on my major to do list was just kind of not hitting the spot. And I found this little title called Arcade Paradise that's few years old right now. And what that is about is it's kind of a weird simulation with arcade games. You start off in this laundromat that is kind of handed down to you by your dad, but it's all. The story is vague, and it's really a simulation game with an interesting twist. You run the uh, laundry store, literally doing people's laundry, taking care of it, cleaning the place up. But in the back, there are a couple of arcade games. And through talking to your sister via computer, and this is very much a period piece. This like takes place in the mid '90s, and it's really obvious. You build more and more of the back room and turn into a proper arcade, and you can play the arcade games, and a lot of them are very much like rip-offs of things you've already expected, like Space Invaders, Missile Command, but they have some that you kind of shocked to see. Like there's a rip-off clone of oh well, uh, Mr. Driller. That's the game I was thinking of, and that one took me by surprise. A really good one of Outrun, which instead of a red Corvette, you have a spaceship on the like a Luke Skywalker speeder type of racer, which is uh, I don't know why I'm tripping over my words, but that one was a really fun one. A twin stick shooter of a zombie survival game that was really fun. I think there's like over 20 arcade games you can purchase slowly through time, and you're building all this while managing like the front end of the washer, and you're slowly having the arcade take it over. And there's a few interesting twists in the game, nothing too big, but there was kind of a weird narrative about the game, and it really kind of surprisingly is about expressing yourself. I don't want to give too much away, but if you do have the PlayStation Plus, check out Arcade Paradise, even just for a bit. And I'm kind of surprised at how much gotten hooks into me. As for the next game, I personally am not a football fan. I'm not much of a major sports fan. I think they're okay. I participated some as a kid. Sports to me are like more interesting when you play versus watching someone else play. That being said, back when I was a young warthog, I loved uh, NFL Blitz. I thought NFL Blitz and NBA Jam were like my shit. I thought having them in a very arcadey style was kind of the right way to go. And we haven't really gotten that recently, except for this weird exception. So, before NFL Blitz, there was this little indie game. I don't even know if you could call games indie back then, but it was lesser known, called Mutant Football League. And they also had Mutant Ice Hockey. And both those games were like really fun, but I played very little of it. But I did watch the cartoon, and they came back with Mutant Football League, the original, and then not the original, it was a remake, and then they came out with a sequel very recently, which I've picked up, and I kind of love it. You can build your own team from scratch. You all your characters are like not really human. They're like monsteroids in some way, shape, or form. You got like zombies, orcs, robots. And because of that, you can like have your team killed and kill the other opponent's team just by doing enough damage. There are hazards on the field which you can actually take off. If you wanted more of a arcadey but still straight laced football game, you can take that off. There are dirty plays, like sometimes your character can have a shotgun, sometimes your character can be full of electricity and just like zap its opponents, just blazing through the field. But again, you can also turn theirs off. And those are just really fun flavor things to do, which I very much enjoy. The only major gripe is uh, I'm not, like I said, I'm not much into football, but if you want to play a season, you have to draft your people. And there's a way to get it auto draft, but it still can take a long time. There's an option for instant, like it says fast at the beginning options. I would go instant if you don't know what you're doing, and you still need to have to deal with sign-on bonuses. I just wanted to play the game, but once when I was in career mode, I found out two things. Easy mode is way too easy, and normal is way too hard. You do build up your player stats, though, slowly bit by bit through the game, and it feels like you are very much the underdog if you play it in normal mode or harder. It feels like you will lose your first few games until you buff up your people, and I'm not sure how I like that. I haven't tried online play yet, but I would like to. I'm probably going to do that really soon. Expedition 33 is a weird game that I very much love. I really do. But I am like slow crawling it like you won't believe. And a big problem with that is like my main podcast and how I play games in general. If I am reviewing a game, I am like zero in focused on that, and that is actually how I'm tackling Expedition 33, even though I don't know if I'll make a review on it or not, but we'll see. But I do want to be zoomed in. Why that is a problem, though, is I lately, like my ADHD is like gone through the max, and I feel like if I'm just focusing on one thing, I feel like I haven't accomplished a lot. So I will turn off the sound of most games and watch YouTube on the side. I feel like I am doing two things at once, and it's not just being stagnant and being still. It just clicks with my brain. I also have the ability to multitask like that, but by doing that, I must sacrifice the sound of the game. And some games I just don't want to do that with. But lately, I am pretty sure I am halfway done with Expedition 33, and I've been getting a good roll on things. I don't want to talk about most of the game yet. I'm sure you've heard so much about it, but I'll just say the story is fascinating. The visuals are very pretty. The audio is so good, and the gameplay is interesting. It's the one thing I really very much love about it, but it is definitely not for everyone. It's turn based, and you kind of need to be on your A game because it's a lot of button commands. So, I don't know. Like, I wish people were able to experience this through a proper demo. Maybe there is one, I just haven't seen one. But if you've been on the fence, try and find a demo or some way to play this first before you buckle down and like spend the money on it. The next game, I bought a collection of 2 games in a series. Apparently, there's a third game somewhere. I need to look it up, but somewhere on the PlayStation Store, there's a game called 999, and I'm trying to remember the sequel name. It's not numbered. I think it's like The Last Virtue or something. I've been playing that. This is the weird game of the month. Like, if you thought like orcs as football players and it's not Blood Bowl was weird, this one is a semi-visual novel escape room before escape rooms were big. This originally came out on the Nintendo DS years ago, and I bought it, but I didn't really get immersed on the DS, and I was like, I think I could do better if this was on like my proper screen. And I finally found it on the PlayStation Store, and I'm very much enjoying it. The voice acting, like I said, it's an early DS game, so like the voice acting isn't quite on par, but it doesn't need to be because it's a lot of just like stagnant drawings just talking. What it is, it's a very deadly escape room game where people are kidnapped and put on a ship, and they have to go through room by room trying to get out, and a lot of shenanigans happen, and it's a really cool mystery. It's a mystery with mysteries in it, and I think it's kind of easy for an escape room game. There's only one solution I looked up, and turns out I didn't need the solution at all. I was just clicking the wrong thing. Like, there's this one little thing you need to click on at one point that seemed a little too hidden, but it's easily overlooked. I mean, the characters, they're very anime style. Everyone is very much their own character. It's I don't think you could mistake one for the other if you even tried. And as for like the big mystery, I will probably go back and talk about this once when I finish the game because I don't exactly know what else to talk about except they are in a situation where things are deadly and not quite like Saw level escape room, but kind of close. Like, no one has to torture themselves in order to escape a room. However, people can die. And I found this game fascinating. So, a little interesting thing happened last night. I found out Fire Emblem Path of Radiance came onto the GameCube Nintendo Switch Online. I have been waiting for this game to come onto the Nintendo Switch Online. I used to have it back as a teenager. It was my first Fire Emblem game. I never got to finish it. I don't remember why. But I no longer had that GameCube, nor the game, and I felt really bad because it was like one of those games I wish I kept with me because it's worth a lot of money now. But as for itself, it's your first Fire Emblem game that kind of came over the States. Not the first, but one of the first. and it's the first in 3D, and the characters, they don't have the Nintendo polish. Like so many things from the GameCube era from Nintendo, they still look great. Like Metroid Prime's still a great example of it, but this one showing the cracks, you can tell they didn't take near as much time as making the characters look good in 3D. Their character portraits look really good though. The 2D art on those, you can see what they were really going for with the details, and I like that. I've only been like 5 missions in though. The big turning point of the story hasn't happened yet. The part that I remember, I can't remember where I left off, but I do know it's much further than where I'm at right now. Uh, this is the one with Ike. If you guys are Smash Bros. Fans, but not fully sure on Fire Emblem, this was his big debut, and he's an okay character. It seems like the rest are more interesting. I like this mage called Soren, who's basically the shut up, leave me alone edgelord type dude. And I also like mages in Fire Emblem. I think they're just super fun. Uh, I did hear that the sequel on the Wii is extremely hard. It might be the hardest Fire Emblem game, going way back to the NES era. So I wonder if they'll bring that along, and if you're able to transfer a save. I heard that was kind of important too. We'll see how Nintendo works with that. Hopefully they won't drop the ball on it. But that was kind of it for like what I've been playing recently. There are two things I have watched. Last night I watched K-pop Demon Hunters for the first time, and it's actually as good as people say it is. I was a little on the fence and like, would I actually enjoy this? And turns out like, yeah, I actually did. The songs are pretty catchy. Um, Everything else, the animations, not the best, but it's pretty damn good. I've seen a little bit better animation, and like the lip sync of the we watched it English dub. The lip sync of it all didn't quite add up. It was very distracting when they went from normal to singing mode. Like, oh, I don't think these are the same people who are singing that are doing the talking. They sound very different to me. And the action itself is okay. I don't know how they would do a sequel, but I hear there is one in development. But it seems more like this should be a launching off of whatever studio made this into like the Western audience. I think that is really what should be celebrated here, is getting it outside of the Korean audience, and the fact Netflix got a really good thing on their hands. Like they, from what I've heard, they just kind of threw this aside and moved on, and then they're like, oh wow, people really like this, let's put it in theaters. Speaking of Asian cinema, here's a lesser known one. Unless if you are into Asian cinema, then you probably have heard this anime title before. I got a buddy who is into Asian cinema, and I've watched some bizarre things because of him. But it's always a great time, and I'll talk about some here and there. And what we usually watch is live action, but every once in a while we'll put on an animated movie. And he's like, "Hey, the sequel to this movie was like the best one from China in 2025. Let's watch the original." And the original is called The Legend of Hei, but it's spelled Hei and not Hey. And that one it's like very Ghibli flavored. It has a lot of cuteness. It's about this cat that is originally from the forest. People took over the forest, living in the city now, and you quickly find out this cat, which is adorable and like makes you go, "Aw, that's fucking cute as hell." isn't really a cat, it's a spirit with a couple different transformation sets, and he finds other spirits like him, and a big journey happens, and so much so that I kind of can't spoil this, but there's surprisingly a lot of action. Like the first 10 minutes, you wouldn't think that. You think it's just going to be a cutesy slice of life movie. Turns out this is actually more of a shonen, action-y type movie with a really cool heart to it. All the characters in this movie shine. Like, they're so detailed. I'm kind of surprised this came from China because China doesn't really have a great reputation for movies, and lately they've been like killing it. Like their game has been totally different. Too bad they're like everything else about China is kind of iffy though, but whatever. But yeah, that is what has been going on in my life, what I have been watching, what I have been doing. Um, there will be an episode on Tears of the Kingdom for the last update and review in a couple of days. Maybe even tomorrow. That was supposed to have been out all by now. Personal life, like, things been kind of rough for me. Um, I haven't been able to do my job properly because I need my car and I've had car issues, and it's been one issue after another that hopefully will be fixed by the time this upcoming week is over and things will be settled, and I'll be much better in like a better state of mind to record and edit everything I need to do. But for right now, it really held me back on editing the Tears of the Kingdom episode. I can't wait for it. It'll be very soon. I'm almost done editing it. I needed to find out what songs and clips I wanted to add, and that just took me way longer to decide than usual. And again, if you liked what you heard, this is the only free version of this show. From here on out, it'll be like the $5 thank you tier in order to hear this monthly or bi-weekly episode. I also moved my podcast around to Sage Temple Studios. Both of them are under that umbrella, and I have 4 different podcast feeds other than Patreon. If you do like listening to things on Patreon, but you don't want to give the $5 tier, all my regular episodes are totally free. I'm also on RSS feed, SoundCloud, Spotify, and I think there's one other. No, that's it. I tried to get on Apple. I can't get an Apple account for the life of me. That's another headache. But hey, I'm trying to spread out. Send me a message at Sage Temple on Discord if you want to chat, play games, want to be on future episodes. I'm very open-minded, just don't try to be rude or anything. But hey, this is Jordan Vickers. This has been what I've been playing, and I will see you guys later.